Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jackie Marie of J. Marie Booklet. So today I am making a video for you, and I actually got two comments. And so I had two comments on two separate videos about how it was the unit secretary's first day. So and they and their brain was mush. It was so much to absorb. So I just want to tell you about my first day and just give some tips on how to proceed from here for all the new unit secretaries. So my first day at the hospital here, what? Because I really don't remember the very first hospital I worked at. I don't remember any of that. Um, but the first hospital here, we got hired and it was orientation. And orientation, matter of fact, the anniversary is coming up for the hire date, and it will be 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. So the anniversary is coming up at the end of the month of April. Yeah. Wow. And so I went to orientation, and they had us in the big main room. That was like the, I don't know what you call it. That's where they had the event. So like when some of the executives retired, we went there for the party, and then no, we didn't do benefits there. But anyway, it was a big room over by down where all the executives' office was. Finance was over there and everything, payroll, get your money. So so we were in there, and then they stood up and they told us about the hospital and the history and all that good stuff. And then we met our directors. So that day, my director did not come down to meet me because I think I was the only one that got hired for my floor. So the director didn't come down to meet me because the director was a man. He hired me, and I talked about it in previous videos how he hired me, but then he had heart issues. He had like multiple heart attacks. So the manager, me and her got hired at the same time. She started maybe a week before me. I think I got hired first, but she started first. And so she was the one that met me. I don't know where he was that day, but he couldn't meet me. So she met me. And so she introduced herself, and that's the one who was my director when I got tired of being going in her office. That's the one I always talk about. And so she's the one that met me, and then she later became the director. So so I met her, and then talked with her for a while, and then they separated everybody because they had everybody, like all the new hires. So everyone who got hired was all in this room learning about the company, and then we met our director, and then we split up because the people who needed to go get fitted for the N95 mask, they went and got fitted. So the nurses, respiratory, I don't know if the CNAs got fitted. I'm pretty sure they did. CNAs. I didn't need to get fitted because I was secretary. I didn't need to get fitted. I think maybe housekeeping might have went and got fitted. Yeah. So everybody who needed to go get fitted for N95 went and got fitted. And then I was taken. So the director walked me, well, the manager, she walked me down the hallway to the one room. And in that room, it was just me and the one lady. She was like so the lady who was over the secretaries, she was also over IT. So she was over the computer system. And so she was over us because we knew the computer system. We used it more than anybody. We used it more than the nurses, than the doctors, than anybody. So the lady who was over the computer system was over the secretaries. So whenever we had a secretary meeting, she would lead it. And so she had an assistant, and the assistant is the one who so my manager took me to the room to be with her. And so she showed me how to work the system, how to log in. She gave me a book. It was a book, a green book, and in it had like all the different systems and like the steps to walk you through. So if you log in, and then once you're in, if you need to look up labs, you click this tab. If you need to um, print labels. You print this, you go here, this and that. So there were technically two systems. I came in on the second system. So like secretaries who, because I don't remember how long they had that new system. So they had an old system. When I say old, I'm about old. I think the ER still used that system because the ER stayed way behind everything. And then they had a new system. So I kind of knew how to do the old system. And basically, I only used the old system when the computers would go down for maintenance. But that was like mainly on the weekend and in the middle of the night. But I knew enough on how to print labels if something ever happened. I never used it a lot, but I knew enough. I could admit the patients into the system and print labels. That's pretty much all I could do. And then of course we used to matter of fact, we used to discharge the patients that way. We used to also discharge the patients because we can admit them and discharge them. So the system, it was like two separate systems. And so that's how I knew how to do the old system and the new. But I mainly used the system for discharging. And then of course, like that's the only time I used it for discharging, transferring, and then when the computers went down, we would use it, but we couldn't do nothing. Like I couldn't put orders in the old system. I didn't know how to do that. So she showed us how to, she showed me how to work the system. Cause like I said, I was the only one. I think I was the only secretary that got hired out of everyone. And so, yeah, she walked me through and she gave us a book. She gave me a book and I kept that book for a long time because it had the steps. And then, probably like after lunch, went up, had lunch. And then, after lunch, went up to the floor and I sat with my trainer. And my trainer is actually a nurse now and she actually moved up here where I moved to. So, so she trained me, and then of course, I worked her schedule. So I only had a few hours of training because she worked 7 to 3. Now I got hired for 312s, but the other girl, because the way the unit was set up, it was two secretaries. So one secretary was 8 hours on one side, and then on the other side, the secretary was 12 hours. So you always had a secretary overlapping. So like if you start at 7 in the morning, you had 7 in the morning, 7 p. So the first one would come in from 7 to 3. So one side was 7 a to 7 p, and then the other side was 7 a to 3 p. And then she would leave, and then the 3 to 11 would come in, and then of course the one that started in the morning would leave, and the 7 to 7 p to 7 a would come in on the other side. And then they had a night shift. They had a girl, she worked 11 to 7. So they always had a secretary. And then when she left, when the girl that worked 11 to 7, when she left, they didn't fill it. And then eventually they got rid of it and made both sides 12. But I only worked, when I first started, I orientated with the one who worked 7 to 3. So I left at 3 because that's 8 hours. Because I came in at 7, okay, and I'm leaving at 3. And do y'all not know that the charge nurse complained because I left when the girl left? I'm like, well, where else was I supposed to go? Like, I'm supposed to stay? Like, y'all didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? What I mean, y'all can pay me. That's fine. But so she trained me, but she complained like the third day. I'm like, you need to get a life, because like you don't want to start a new job and people are already on that foolishness. But that's what they do. So I went, and I trained with her, and she was like, "Oh, you're good because like this one I'm training." She's like, "You're good. You caught on real fast." And I was like, "Well, I used to do this because I said it's been some years now. It's been like, because I think it had been like 6 years from the time I worked at the first hospital to this hospital." And I was like, "It's been some years now, okay, but it's all coming back to me." Cause she was like, she's like, you caught on real fast. And I was like, "Well, yeah, I used to do this." It was just like a long, you know, long time between. But it came back to me. So it was easier for me the second time, even though it had been some years. And yeah, so that was my first day, just but my advice to you, and this is what I do. Whenever you start a new job, don't take notes on the first day. Like you just sit there and you watch. Don't write nothing. Don't do just sit and watch. I know sometimes like the second day they may want you to sit in in the chair, and that's fine. But like on the first day, like you just did orientation, you trying to figure out, you don't even know this hospital, you don't know what's going on. Just sit and watch. When you get on that floor, just sit and watch. Don't try to take notes on, because you're not gonna remember everything. It's too, you've done too much. Your brain cannot process anything else. You say that for the next day after your nerves have calmed down a little bit, and and you had some rest. Okay, because it's a busy day. Your first day, especially when you're doing orientation, is a busy day. You don't realize how busy 8 hours is. You don't realize how it is. And then you don't realize how your senses are open. Like you're everything is open. You're seeing everything, you're hearing everything. Your nerves, you're thinking they talking about you, or they saying something about me, because I remember when I started over there, when I came in, like maybe the second day, then it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and night shift is staring all at me. I'm like, can I help you? Okay, I'm like, you like nobody said, hey, hello, they just staring, but you notice all, like, I remember that because your senses are like wide open, you noticing everything. You're trying to figure out everything. So like the first day, no, don't take notes. Once you're on that floor, just sit and watch. Whoever is training you, you sit and you watch. And then the second day, once all that, learning about the hospital and the director, and the hospital was built in blah 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 year, and we built blah blah blah, you know, the next day when you're on that floor, that's when you start taking notes. You bring everything, whatever documentation you had from the first day. So like they gave you like a manual on how to work the computers, you bring that. I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why I was such a good nurse, good secretary on the main floor is because in the system they had a place where we could put notes. So I took a lot of notes, right? I took a lot of notes, and this is just years, okay, of notes, and I would input it into the system, in the computer system, and so whenever I didn't know something, instead of pulling out my notebook with all the notes, it was right there on the computer. So like ordering labs that you don't order, you order it once every blue moon, because the way the system was, like when we used to, for Central Supply, what we called something, Central Supply called it something else. That's like, I don't know why they won't fix it, but that's how it is. So if I'm ordering something once every blue moon from Central Supply, I don't remember how the hell to order it. So like the one time I ordered it and I ordered it correctly, I will put it in that note because I know I'm gonna need it again, but I don't know when. Do you understand? So that's where you make notes. Or if you order a lab that you order every now and then, that's when you make your notes. Now a CBC, now you should know how to order a CBC. You should know how to order, like there are certain labs you order all the time, every day, all day. But there are some labs you order every now and then. Same thing with X-rays. I used to always have an issue with golly, I want to say the supine X-ray and all that stuff. Like they used to get on my nerve. I was like, oh Lord, how do I order this? Like how long I've been doing this, and I still okay. Look, I still can't tell you what, and I'm being honest. Uh, um, nephrologist, a nephrologist. I can't tell you what body part he work on. I can't tell you that. And it was a nephrologist and endocrinologist. I can't tell you. Okay, how long I've been doing this? So they're look, you ain't gonna know everything. You ain't gonna know everything. So like trying to take notes on the first day, no, don't do that. Say that for the second day. Say that for the third day. But that's why I say on the first day, watch, and even on the second day, you watch. And what you okay, the stuff you're gonna remember, you be like, okay, I got that. Okay, so I go here, I go here, I go here. Cause I'm one of those people. If I don't know something, I'm gonna ask. Cause that's just me. I'm not gonna sit there like I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll be like, okay, okay, so here. So I do this. So first I go here, and then I click on this, and then I go here, and then I select this and whatever, and they go, yes, okay, okay, good, I got it, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't got it, I'm like, look, okay, explain. Let me make sure I got this correctly, and I'll repeat the steps to them to make sure I got it. See, but if you know something's gonna give you some problems, you write it down. You know what I'm saying? You write down your passwords, write down whatever. If you know something's gonna give you a problem, if you're not catching on, you write it down. Like if you know if you're having a hard time catching on, but you know you're gonna need it in the future, like even though you walk through the steps, you still a little confused, write it down then. But if you got it, then you got it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I look, I ain't got no shame in saying, okay, wait a minute, hold up. So blah 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 blah. Yes, that's correct, Jackie. Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Cause I just want to make sure I got it correctly. Cause I ain't gonna be, cause they ain't gonna be there all forever. You know what I'm saying? The trainer ain't gonna be there forever. You can't be somebody can't be your crutch, throughout the whole job. So you got to make sure you know it. But the first day taking notes, just sit and watch. And even I do that when I train. Just sit and watch me. First day. Now the second day, you need to start taking some notes. And then like maybe after lunch, I was like, you wanna get in the driver's seat? Now I'll just be right here. I'm gonna sit right next to him and you know, I ain't gonna throw him to the wolves. I'm gonna be sitting right there next to him. Just do you wanna sit here and I just sit next to you and watch you and and walk them through? Cause that's how I train. I never expect anyone to take notes the first day. I just want you to watch so you can get a feel, so you can hear me fuss. You can hear me fuss, so you can see, because you're gonna be watching everything. How you can't take notes? You watching everything. You taking everything in. You're trying to see what kind of patients there are, what kind of how the nurse is, how the charge nurse, that CNA, this respiratory transportation. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in the hospital. And it's a lot going on your first day. It's so much going on your first day, and it's just like overwhelming. So no, don't take notes the first day. Just sit and watch, and then the second day, after you rested, you process some of the stuff. You come in, you're fresh. Then you take notes. Then you ask questions. Don't sit there and act like you know when you don't know. Like, don't do it. Okay? If you don't know, say something. Okay? In the course you're going to have, I'm telling you now, you're going to have people trying to haze you. And that's one of my pet peeves. Um, I'm the wrong one. Me personally, I don't allow it with my people. Like when I'm training somebody, I don't allow nobody to mess with my people. I don't care. I don't care if it's a charge nurse. Cause you get okay. Did I get called into the office? But you know what? Cause they will try you. People weird like that. I don't know what's up with this hazing stuff. But yeah, you gonna have somebody. You gonna have people try you. But if you got a good trainer, they got you. But now if you got a whatever kind of trainer, ooh. But the girl that trained me, she was all right. But she had her own. I mean, I'm glad she trained me than the other girl, she had too much going on. But the girl that trained me, she was all right. And like I said, she became a nurse. So yeah, but yeah, your first day, your senses are wide open. You're paying attention to everything. You're trying to take in everything. You can't take notes on everything. Just sit back and watch. Okay? If you got any comments, you can put them below. You can also follow me on my blog, is where I talk about being a unit secretary, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.